Good evening on the World News Tonight from Baba Bagede Imo Television. First, the headlines. Nigeria moves to end acute malnutrition nationwide. Restructure Nigeria before 2027. Current system is failing, says Jega. In Nigeria, bad governance fuels terrorism, says defense chiefs. Nigerians celebrate as Naira continues to recover from devaluation against major currencies. On sports, Super Eagles provisional AFCON squad throws up surprises. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. The news in detail. Vice President Kashim Shettima has inaugurated a high-powered nutrition co-working committee aimed at addressing severe acute malnutrition in the country. The special committee, dubbed the Intellectual Powerhouse by Shettima, was spearheaded the fight against hunger and malnutrition in Nigeria. Speaking Friday while inaugurating the Nutrition Co-working Committee at the Senate House, Abuja, the Vice President emphasized the importance of coordination and collaboration with the National Committee on Food and Nutrition. We are determined to upturn the negative nutrition indices of this country, he declared. Shettima cited his recent visit to Tutumbiri village in Kaduna State, where he witnessed the tragic plight of malnutrition, child caught in the unfortunate military drone strike, saying we have no excuse for poverty. Highlighting Nigeria's immense potential for prosperity, the Vice President's passion for the cause was evident as he pledged unwavering support to the committee. You are our engine room, he said, urging the committee to start by tackling the malnutrition crisis from the most vulnerable communities. Advise us draw the roadmap, he implored, emphasizing the crucial role of the members of the committee as expert advisors. Shettima expressed a resolute commitment to breaking the cycle of poverty and malnutrition in the country. The Vice President reminded the committee members of their shared responsibility, even as he said, we are all products of the public school system and history will judge us harshly if we fail to change the narrative of this country. Former Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC Professor Atairu Jega, Commissioner in charge of Information Chris Iyamoge, and INEC Commissioner Mr. Mohammed Amangadorin Jega's press conference on the 25th 2015 Presidential and National Assembly elections in Abuja has stated that before 2027, some restructuring of the Nigerian Federation should be embarked upon through evidence-based constitutional reforms, the objective of which should be to concentrate powers and resources from the federal tower and to should be spread to those of the state and local government. The former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Atairu Jega, said. Jega urged Nigerian leaders to learn from the best practices, model federations such as India, Canada, and the United States of America in the areas of revenue generation and sharing, and adapt it to our local context and circumstances. Professor Jega was a guest lecturer at the maiden March convocation of the Bauchi State University. Gadel on Friday spoke on the theme, Safeguarding Nigeria's Future, Prioritizing Citizens' Welfare and Security Amidst Challenges. He argued that he didn't believe Nigeria is a failed state, but a failing state. Moving on to the next story. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has said that good governance and not a military solution would end terrorism in the country. Musa spoke while addressing newsmen in its meeting parley with the defense correspondent at Defense Headquarters, Abuja. According to the Defense Chief, military solution to terrorism is 30%, while good governance, equity, fairness, and justice make up 70%. We urge our political leaders to do the right thing. Anywhere you find good governance, it reduces insecurity. Our present challenges in Nigeria are man-made. We are in the military and not magicians. He noted that any officer found wanting after investigation of the Kaduna bombing of civilians would be severely punished. He added, we've been punishing our officers. It's just that probably because most times you don't get to know. I'm sure you know in Maiduguri we have jailed a lot of personnel. I have a lot of my personnel in jail. Court martials have sent them to jail and you can go and verify. He urged Nigerians and media to spread subtly in order to avert escalating insecurity in the country. His words, the security challenges we're facing is not only a military challenge, it is for everybody, and you are always most times on the war front you are also exposed to such things. So that is why it's important for us to have a good understanding of what is going on so that we can clearly sensitize the public, let them understand what exactly is going on. In a wave of optimism sweeping the nation, Nigeria welcomes a promising development as reports from Naira indicate a continuous and significant appreciation of the country's currency against major international counterparts. It is noteworthy that the recovery of the Nigerian Naira commenced yesterday. Recent data points to a remarkable strengthening of the Naira, demonstrating an approximate gain of 20 Naira against the US dollar and other significant foreign currencies. This positive shift comes amid heightened concerns among Nigerians regarding the availability of dollars and the absence of inflows from the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), particularly following President Tinubu's recent decision to halt the subsidy plan on fuel. The substantial appreciation of the Naira against major currencies has ignited a renewed sense of hope among citizens, as questions about the economic landscape persist, stated as information, financial experts and analysts delve into the impact of this development and explore potential remedies for the evolving economic challenges. The indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, has strongly criticized the Supreme Court's decision on Friday to refer its leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, case back to the High Court. The group alleges that this move is a deliberate ploy to prolong Kanu's imprisonment and has urged the international community to take notice. Reacting via a press release by the group's publicity secretary, Emma Powerful, Ipob said for the Supreme Court to move the case due for judgment back to lower court is a scripted communist skit to delay and deny Mazi Nnamdi Kanu justice. The biased and teleguided Supreme Court judgment against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shows that Supreme Court justices are colluding with the Nigerian government to perpetuate injustice against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Ipob, added Mr. Emma Powerful. He added questions and further said that the stance of the Supreme Court justice, stating how can the Supreme Court justice indirectly justify and endorse international kidnapping and extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu while pronouncing condemnation against the same act. Is Nigerian Supreme Court wired to operate outside the international laws that frown on extraordinary rendition, or the Supreme Court justice just speak from both sides of their mouth? Ipob Worldwide is notifying the international community that if any breakdown of order happens in Nigeria during this period, the Nigerian Supreme Court justice should be held responsible, warned Mr. Emma Powerful. Men of the Anambra State Police Command have rescued 4 children of the same parent who were abducted from their homes by kidnappers on Friday night. DSP Tochukwu Ikenga, Anambra State Police Command spokesperson, while speaking on the development, said the children were taken from Enugu Agidi in Jokwo, local government area of Anambra State. On 15 December 2023 at about 11 p.m., the police at Abagana received information via police hotline that suspected herdsmen had abducted 4 children from a family at Achala village, Agidi in Njikoka, local government area of Anambra State. Immediately, the Commissioner of Police CP Adiremi Adeoye received the report. He ordered the immediate redeployment and mobilization of police personnel and vigilantes to go after the kidnappers with the view to rescuing the children. In the early hours of the day, 16 December 2023, the 4 children aged 13, 14, 21 and 21 years were rescued close to Urim, 25 kilometers away from their home in Achala village. The children have been reunited with their parents while the dragnet for the armed men is being extended to neighboring communities. Speaking on how the children were kidnapped, Ikenga said the mother of the children said the family was watching television at about 10 p.m. when electricity supply went out. She and her husband went out to find out what's amiss when they saw 3 gunmen suspected to be herdsmen and fled for their lives. By the time the summoned authority returned to the house, they saw 3 gunmen suspected to be herdsmen and fled for their life. Ikenga said security had been beefed up in the area to forestall a recurrence. The FCT Court sitting in Maitama, presided over by Justice Samira Bature, has sentenced an Abuja businessman, Chika Adionye, 42 years old, to life imprisonment for making an act with younger ones. Age ones were aged 7 and 8 at the time of the incident. A statement on Friday by press officer of the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, Vincent Adekoye, said the convict was arrested by the operative of the agency in 2016 at Karamajiji community of Airport Road, a suburb of the FCT, following a petition by the mother of one of the victims. The convict was accused of luring the children into his apartment shortly after his wife left home and violently did the act one after the other. He was charged to have done the act in offensive conduct contrary to Section 1 and 5 of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015. His trial began in 2016 because the case suffered a setback, including the convict jumping bail and fleeing to Imo State. He was however tracked and rearrested a few years later. He was arraigned on the 7th of February 2022 on the 4-count charge. On the 15th of December 2023, he was found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment. Delivering the judgment, the judge stated that having considered all evidences adduced by the prosecution in this case, the prosecution having proved its case beyond reasonable doubt and following the sentencing guidelines in line with Section 1 of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015, I convict you as charged and sentence you to life imprisonment as the judgment reads. In a bid to expand access to clean energy for 17.5 million Nigerians, the World Bank has approved the Nigeria Distributed Access Through Renewable Energy Scale-Up project being financed by $750 million International Development Association IDA credits and would leverage over $1 billion private capital and significant parallel financings from developing countries. The financing from development partners include $100 million from the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet and $200 million from Japan International Cooperation Agency. Other development partners collaborating on the program include the United States Agency for International Development, the German Development Agency, and the African Development Bank. In a statement on Friday, the World Bank said that their project aims to provide over 17.5 million Nigerians with new or improved access to electricity through distributed renewable energy solutions. The DS project will use innovative financing solutions to scale up private sector-led clean electricity provision in Nigeria. Finally, on sports. The anticipation for the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations (AFCON) is reaching a fever pitch as the Super Eagles and national teams alike finalize their provisional squads. While some familiar faces are expectedly part of the Super Eagles lineup, there are intriguing surprises and notable omissions that have captured the attention. One of the most surprising inclusions in the provisional squad is Sporting Lagos' Christian Nwoke. Another name that has caught the eye in the provisional squad is Olorunleke Ojo from Eyimba. The goalkeeper's consistent performances have earned him a spot in the 55-man lineup. In a surprising turn of events, informed Doma United goalkeeper Osai Kingdom has been left out of the provisional squad. Kingdom's stellar record of 10 clean sheets from 12 provisional Nigeria Professional Football League games seemed to make him a strong contender. However, the decision by the coach Jose Peseiro to snub him has left fans and pundits scratching their heads. The omission of such a promising talent will undoubtedly spark debate and discussions. Gent striker Gift Auburn's absence from the preliminary list has added an extra layer of intrigue to the Super Eagles AFCON squad. Reports suggest that the decision may be linked to lingering doubt over his nationality. With our sports story, we've come to the end of today's world news from Baba Bagede Imo Television. Before we go, some headlines. Nigeria vows to end acute malnutrition nationwide. Shetima. Restructure Nigeria before 2027. Current system is failing, says Jega. In Nigeria, bad governance fuels terrorism, said defense chief. Nigerians celebrate as Naira continues to recover from devaluation against major currencies. On sports, Super Eagles provisional AFCON squad throws up surprises. For updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Baba Bagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. Thank you for watching. I am Moriri Rabila Lawan. Good evening.